Welcome. My name is Dr. Lisa Lamb. I'm an associate faculty here at UAGC and host for this session, Rewriting the Script, Shifting Faculty Mental Models to Empower Engagement and Equity in the Digital Classroom. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC-related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation, but we encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. Also, we have enabled live transcription. If you would like to use it, click the Show Captions button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Now, I am pleased to introduce you to Takara Carter. Takara Carter is a professor of English with more than 5 years of teaching experience. Her background spans primary, secondary, and higher education. Combining her expertise as an educator with her professional work as a publicist, she has developed a deep understanding of effective communication and its impact. She is currently a doctoral student pursuing a PhD in English at Liberty University, where she continues to build her expertise in advancing education and supporting learners of all backgrounds. So we'll turn it over to you, Takara.
Thank you. So to go ahead and get started again, this is rewriting the script, shifting faculty mental models to empower engagement and equity in the digital classroom. So let's start with the objectives. The purpose of this session is to not only define mental models, but also to explore their direct impact on student experiences. We'll begin by identifying common faculty beliefs that show up in digital classrooms, beliefs about participation, collaboration, or technology. Then we'll examine research showing how these beliefs shape outcomes. We'll also look at communication strategies, many from my background in public relations, that can strengthen online connection. Simple changes in how we frame announcements or feedback can completely alter how students interpret our expectations. Finally, we'll look at practical tools you can use to question your assumptions and apply inclusive teaching practices right away. By the end, you'll have both awareness and action steps. So, what are mental models? Mental models are like invisible scripts running in our minds. They're the frameworks we use to interpret situations and make decisions. In teaching, these models determine how we view students, assess engagement, and define success. The challenge is that because these models are often invisible, we rarely question them. So, take this common example. If students don't turn their cameras on in Zoom, they aren't learning. That's a mental model. It leads to frustration for faculty and unfair assumptions about students who may be balancing work, family, or privacy concerns. The reality is, those students may still be deeply engaged, taking notes, contributing in chat, or following along attentively. By questioning that assumption, we can expand our definition of participation and ensure our teaching methods don't unintentionally exclude students. Mental models matter because they directly shape teaching decisions. Research shows faculty beliefs influence how courses are designed, how assessments are structured, and how students are supported. Outdated models, like assuming that digital tools are distractions, can block innovation and even prevent students from fully engaging. A practical example is the use of polling tools like Poll Everywhere. Faculty who assume technology distracts may avoid them, missing an opportunity for real-time feedback that can keep students engaged. Reflection allows us to catch these outdated assumptions and ask, is this belief helping my students succeed, or is it holding them back? Reframing from technology is a distraction to technology, when used with purpose, enhances learning opens new teaching possibilities. So let's talk a little bit about the digital classroom. The COVID-19 pandemic forced higher education into the digital classroom almost overnight. Tools like Canvas, Blackboard, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams became everyday teaching platforms. While these technologies continue to advance, many faculty still approach them with the same assumptions they used in face to face classrooms. This gap creates tension between what the tools can do and how they are used. Canvas allows faculty to embed video lectures, discussion boards, group projects, and analytic dashboards that track student progress. Yet, many courses still use it primarily as a place to post documents, missing its potential for interactive engagement. When faculty mental models stay tied to the LMS is just a filing cabinet, students lose out on opportunities for deeper learning. Recognizing that online platforms can be dynamic learning spaces helps us move toward more inclusive and engaging teaching. So let's talk about the faculty mindset in digital pedagogy. Digital pedagogy is not just about putting lectures online, but also designing learning intentionally with technology as a tool for engagement. Faculty beliefs strongly influence how this plays out. For example, if we believe participation only happens when students speak aloud, we may overlook the rich engagement happening in discussion boards, collaborative writing tools, or even through chat features. An example comes from using Flipgrid or Padlet in an online class. These tools allow students to post videos or text reflections, offering multiple ways to contribute. A student who rarely speaks in Zoom might thrive when given the opportunity to share ideas asynchronously. By expanding our model of participation, we can design courses that recognize different ways of engaging and give students more control over how they show their learning. That leads us to collaboration. Collaboration is one of the most misunderstood aspects of teaching and learning. Many faculty worry that group work will reduce independence or lower the quality of outcomes. But research shows that collaboration actually builds stronger communities, enhances problem solving, and supports innovation. Technology has given us new ways to support collaboration. Within Canvas LMS, students can form groups, co-author documents using Google Docs or Microsoft Word directly in the platform, and track contributions in real time. This structure reduces the classic frustration of one person doing all the work by making roles and edits visible. When faculty shift their mental model from collaboration equals chaos to collaboration equals structure and support, students begin to see online teamwork as a meaningful, skill building experience rather than a burden. Professional development often focuses on technical skills, how we use Zoom, how to set up an LMS course. But real growth requires addressing the beliefs and assumptions that underlie teaching. Research highlights that faculty identity and professional growth are closely tied to mental models. If an instructor sees themselves only as a content deliverer, their approach to teaching will be narrow. Reflection helps shift this identity towards seeing teaching as facilitation, mentoring, and shared inquiry. Teaching circles or peer observations can spark reflection. A faculty member who once thought students should figure it out on their own may, through peer dialogue, reframe this belief into students need scaffolding to succeed. Journaling about teaching challenges or receiving feedback on course design can help surface hidden assumptions. By addressing mindset alongside tools, professional development becomes more transformative and sustainable. Now, just as faculty hold mental models, students carry their own assumptions into the classroom. Research found that students use metaphors to describe the internet. Some see it as a toolbox for solving problems, a library for accessing knowledge, and others as a marketplace for exchanging ideas. These perspectives influence how they engage with digital resources. A practical example is if a student sees the internet as a toolbox, they may prefer assignments that involve simulations, case studies, or practical problem solving. Meanwhile, a student who sees the internet as a library may be more motivated by research projects and annotated bibliographies. Faculty who take the time to understand these perspectives can design more engaging courses. So, offering multiple project options like research essays, multimedia projects, or case studies aligns with diverse student mental models and fosters deeper learning. Hybrid learning is often undervalued, with faculty fearing it reduces connection compared to in person classes. Yet, research shows hybrid learning expands access and provides critical flexibility for students who balance jobs, family responsibilities, or live far from campus. A hybrid course might meet once a week on campus and once online, with additional asynchronous components. This allows students to participate without sacrificing other commitments. A working parent may watch recorded lectures after their child's bedtime, while another student may use discussion boards during a work break. Rather than seeing hybrid as less than, reframing it as an equity driven model reveals its value. Faculty can maintain strong connections by incorporating community building strategies like weekly video updates, interactive discussion prompts, and flexible office hours that serve both online and in person learners. Now, of course, that brings us to the discussion on technology and engagement. So, technology often carries the stigma of being a distraction. Faculty may feel frustrated when students check phones during class or when laptops are open but not clearly used for note taking. However, research shows that when technology is integrated with clear pedagogy, it actually enhances motivation and supports student learning. Tools like Kahoot or Poll Everywhere allow students to participate actively in class content through quizzes and polls. This helps even quieter students engage in real time. Similarly, tools like Flipgrid let students record video reflections, which encourages creativity and helps them demonstrate learning in ways beyond text. By reframing the mental model from technology is a distraction to technology is a tool for connection, faculty can create spaces where digital tools enhance inclusion and engagement. So, Microsoft Teams offers an interconnected system that supports real time collaboration and long term planning for faculty and staff. Within the platform, instructors can host meetings, record sessions, and use the meeting notes feature to document discussions and action steps. These notes automatically sync with the meeting and remain accessible for all participants, promoting transparency and follow through. For example, during a department or curriculum planning meeting, key takeaways can be captured and later shared in Teams channels or course specific folders. The Microsoft Planner integration adds another layer of functionality by turning meeting action items into assignable tasks. Faculty can create task boards directly in Teams, set due dates, attach relevant files, and tag collaborators. This helps instructors manage workload distribution, course development timelines, or group projects more efficiently. Tasks can even be linked to Outlook reminders, ensuring that no deliverables are missed. The Outlook integration connects email communication, Teams meetings, and planner tasks seamlessly. Faculty members can schedule meetings in Outlook that automatically appear in Teams. Access meetings, chats, or notes through the calendar invite and track to-do items created during those sessions. This interconnected workflow reduces duplication, minimizes missed communication, and enhances faculty responsiveness to both peers and students. Together, these features make Teams a practical model for how digital tools can mirror effective organizational behavior. By using Teams collaboratively, faculty demonstrate principles of systems thinking and team learning, aligning individual productivity tools with broader institutional goals of efficiency, communication, and student engagement. So let's talk a little bit about immersive teaching. Virtual and augmented reality are often viewed as flashy add-ons rather than serious teaching tools. But immersive technologies are becoming increasingly relevant to higher education, especially in fields where practice is essential. Research shows that these tools can provide transformative learning opportunities by simulating environments that would otherwise be out of reach. In nursing or medical programs, students can use VR to practice patient care scenarios, building confidence and skill without needing access to a physical lab. In criminal justice courses, AR can help students walk through crime scene simulations. This levels the playing field for students who may not have equal access to physical resources. Reframing VR and AR as transformative rather than just another use of AI tools allows faculty to provide equitable, hands-on experience for more learners. So, the conversation we all have been wanting to talk about, and that is the ethical use of AI in the digital classroom. Artificial intelligence has quickly entered classrooms, raising new opportunities and challenges. Students and faculty alike are using tools like ChatGPT, Grammarly, and AI-based feedback systems. The key is ethical use, positioning AI as a supplement to learning rather than a replacement. For students, this might look like using AI to generate essay topics, brainstorm outlines, or practice language skills, but always critically reviewing and revising the content. For faculty, AI can help draft rubrics, suggest quiz questions, or provide initial feedback on assignments, saving time while still requiring human oversight. An instructor could use AI to create a list of sample discussion prompts, then adapt them for the specific needs of their class. Ethical use of AI has the potential to support equity. Students who may lack tutoring resources outside of class can use AI as a learning aid, provided they are taught how to evaluate responses critically. By reframing the mental model from AI encourages cheating to AI can be a partner in learning, we empower both faculty and students to use these tools responsibly and inclusively. So, looking across the research, the theme is clear. Mental models drive faculty decisions in every area of teaching. They influence how we design collaboration, how we invest in professional growth, how we interpret student participation, and how we use tools like technology and AI. If faculty see collaboration as group chaos, they may avoid group projects altogether, missing a chance to build community. If they see AI as cheating, they may ban it rather than teach responsible use. But if they shift to collaboration is growth or AI is a supplement, the teaching possibilities expand. By identifying and reframing these models, faculty can design courses that are more equitable, innovative, and engaging. So, to move from theory to practice, I've included a toolkit for faculty. It begins with a reflection worksheet designed to help faculty uncover hidden assumptions. For example, you might list a belief about student participation and then ask who benefits from this assumption, who might be excluded. The toolkit also includes a communication checklist to reframe language. A syllabus statement like late work is not accepted might be reframed to timely submissions support fairness, but if emergencies occur, communicate with me for solutions. This small shift changes the tone from punishment to participation or partnership. So finally, the toolkit provides examples of ethical AI use, such as using AI to brainstorm quiz questions or help students practice critical evaluation. These tools are designed to help faculty build new habits and test new mental models in ways that directly impacts the student experience. So feel free to use this toolkit to your discretion, and hopefully it does change your thinking about the digital classroom and how we can be more innovative. So for my final takeaway, as we conclude, the message is clear. Faculty mindset is directly tied to student success. The beliefs we hold about participation, technology, collaboration, or assessment shape the digital classroom in ways that can either empower or limit learners. Old assumptions, such as online classes are less rigorous, or students who don't speak aren't engaged, block innovation and often harm equity. The path forward is reflection and communication. By questioning our assumptions, reframing how we communicate with students, and experimenting with tools that foster inclusion, we can shift the culture of digital teaching. Ultimately, it is faculty who build the classroom environment, and our mental models shape whether that culture is stagnant or transformative. And I'm sure we can all agree that our goal is to create transformation in the digital classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Takara. That was excellent.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we're going to move into questions and answers. Does anybody have any specific questions for Takara? And also, a side note, I just wanted to remind everybody that Takara was kind enough to put together a copy of her toolkit for your use. So I included that in the chat. So make sure you get a chance to download that before you leave the presentation. But yeah, is there any questions for Takara? Go ahead and check out the chat here. Lots of thank yous. It was an excellent presentation. I think we can all agree with a lot of the things that you mentioned, especially with the AI and the benefits that it can bring to the classroom.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like you've got lots of feedback here. Okay, a lot of people are making comments here about loving the idea of thinking about mental mindsets. Looking forward to seeing you at the Memphis meetup later today. And also, it looks like there was some other comments here I wanted to mention. Love the shift in language and thinking. Sometimes we just need a nudge to think differently. And another comment here is such a wealth of information packed into these slides. What a great resource you have built.
Oh, thank you.
And looks like we've got another comment here. The toolkit is a great simple resource for changing our thinking framework. These are great, great comments.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Takara, is there anything that you would like to say before we wrap up?
Um, no, I really hope that this presentation and the resource that I've provided really helps us change the culture of teaching and learning in online spaces. I do contribute a lot to LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn advisor. So on my LinkedIn profile, I share a lot of helpful tips on, how we can improve as educators in all spaces, but specifically in higher education. And I would love to get your feedback on the resources once you begin using them, and how it's, helping you reshape your mental models in the digital classroom.
Absolutely. I had a moment to briefly look over it and it was fantastic. So
Thank,
I'm definitely going to use it. I think that
thank
there were
you.
so many great ideas. Okay, so just to remind everybody to take a look at the chat, there is a link for the survey at the end. And I wanted to again thank you to Kara and thank you to the audience for your participation in today's session. And again, please use the survey linked in the chat to nominate TLC presentations for conference awards and to share your feedback on this presentation. Thanks again, Tara. You did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you.